Got that scruff.
All right. Well, this is a special moment here. This is our first guest on the Muscle Discord podcast with Manuel Romero, IFBB
Yes.
Manuel Romero, and we are happy to have you on the show. We just started this probably like 4 weeks ago. Started the channel. It's been growing really quick, so we're super excited for that. Positive feedback we've been getting, and the subscribers joining us, and me and Matt have a lot of connections in the industry. We know a lot of pros, we know a lot of athletes, and Manuel Romero is one of them. And a little context, I worked with Manuel at Mutant when I was working for Mutant back in the day. I worked for Mutant from 2010 to 2019, so had a good stretch. Yeah, I had a good stretch with Mutant. And during my time there, I managed the athletes and was part of the overseeing the marketing department there. And Manny was one of the guys that we brought on. And so I got to work really closely with you. I've seen you go through diets and through preps, and we've traveled together, and we've been all over the place. And it's just, I just want to give the viewers some context and on that as well. And then you also know Matt Regan. You know him fairly well too. So
Well, I too was at Mutant when
yes,
he was there, Matt.
yes.
So
So there's the connection,
yeah,
but there's outside connection there as well with other things too. But
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So
So
happy to have him on, and Manny, we couldn't find a better first guest for us, and we're happy that you're here, brother.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Well, it's very nice to see you, both of you. That's a cool thing. We can make this to happen
yes,
today. So thank you, guys.
yes. Well, so what have you been up to? What are you doing now? I know you're doing your coaching and your personal training, but just bring us up to speed with what's going on in your life right now.
So, bro, you know that after COVID, I get in an accident with a car crash,
Okay.
and that thing tore my shoulder tendon out of the bone. So that space time makes me go through a lot of crazy mental states, and everything ended up on me being frustrated, like depressed. And I get to the point that I was having like crazy suicide thoughts, because I wasn't ready to retirement, like I'm not doing it no more. And of course, I never thought that in my entire life as a bodybuilder, because I went to bodybuilding lifestyle from a dream, and I was just living that thing. But eventually, bro, I never give up. I'm not that kind of person who complain that often, So, and one day I was having a dream, and I was talking with myself. Let's say I was talking with God or whatever, but it was me telling myself like, yo, if it heals at least 85%, just go to school and learn how to avoid another injury in the future so you can come back and just prevent it. But make sure that if it happens once when you didn't expecting what's going to happen at the end, and you become to be so good as a professional, it will happen again. But you closer, and that I wake up happy and like, what the fuck, I will start working on.
Okay.
And eventually I found myself going to the school, getting the, biomechanic specialist,
Okay.
corrective exercise specialist. And I started to apply the whole thing on myself. And then I found out that the best thing that I could happen in my entire life, it was the accident, because it opens a big window of knowledge that I was missing.
Yeah.
So I started applying all those principles, things that I didn't think about it as a bodybuilder. And I know there is so many people as a bodybuilder that don't think about this, because, you know, I went to work with very, very high level coaches, and not much of them talks about these things. That is just keep yourself health and mobility and stretching.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's one kind of thing that it should be in bodybuilding lifestyle as a foundation, because everything I started applying to myself was some kind of calisthenics and active stretching. And then I realized that while I was recovering, I was having soreness and scar tissue, but because my muscle was so thick,
Yeah.
it was worse, you know? And then they short them. So my joints start getting so close one to each other because of the tightness.
Yeah.
And then the fascia getting hard and not being able to, you know, let the muscles on all of that thing. So,
Elongate. Yeah.
bro,
Yeah.
I started to fasting in the morning, and I started doing cardio, and I started stretching and all the protocols of hip mobility and stuff like that, until the point that I start stretching that now I can tell with a lot of fats that you can prevent injuries, you can prevent any type of soreness, just knowing that you have to work your joints and give the release of tension that we put on when we are training, making pressure and creating tension at the same time.
Yeah.
We create muscle and tissue.
Yeah.
No one thinks about this, and that's why in some point people start thinking and accepting that, oh, we are getting older and we're
Right.
fucked
So we
up.
have to live with these aches and pains, and we have to live with the problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but just because during the COVID part, man, I was looking into fasting, I was looking into yoga and all of those things, and then I started doing Pilates, and I realized all of these things should work together,
Yeah.
you know, to just to have the ability of joint longevity, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, understanding chemistry and our bodybuilding, it could be even easier
Yeah.
than how it looks like, based on understand receptors as a mechanism that it will work better if it's not full of acidity or like saturated, you know?
Yeah.
The more efficiently your receptors can work, the better results you can have with less, let's say, less food, right? So all of these things, it start helping me, and I start putting together until now that, bro, I'm having 250 pounds with not too much gears, and I'm eating twice a day.
Yeah.
I'm fucking like, you know,
Yeah.
holding the size.
I was gonna say, so
Yeah,
what
we noticed.
are you doing? Like, so your weight is 250. It was the question of mine. And no, so what is your current diet now? Like, how many calories are you taking in? What
So
are
it's
you?
just 2 meals a day, Manny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the calories per day, and grams of protein, carbs, and fats?
Is going to be around like 1,000 grams of carbohydrates,
Okay.
right? Yeah. I'm doing 350 grams of protein,
Okay.
Yeah.
and I'm doing like 60 grams of fats only.
And so those are just two big meals. Like, what's
Two big meals. Is based on, you know, rice. That's the carbohydrate that I use the most
Yeah.
because it's very easy for me to digest it.
Yeah.
And I'm doing chicken and sometimes, not every day, but I do salmon at the last meal. You know, I will tell you this. When I learned about the fasting part, I realized that, just to make it clear, because most people could confuse and know how you can get big doing fasting. It's not because I wanted to be bigger. I'm not have to worry about looking for size no more, because all the size that I put 20 years ago, or let's say 15 years ago, is mature. So the only thing I'm doing is keeping it working with the workouts, but at the same time, with the amount of food that I'm eating, is enough to my body already got used to fasting protocol. They can calibrate whatever the food is needed on my system, but at the same time, keeping my body functions, because you get a lot of energy when you are fasting, you know? And during that period of time, and I was practicing and studying the fasting part, I understood that whatever you source of energy is now is coming from the food you ingest yesterday.
Yes. Yeah.
So then I understood that the energy of being alive is focused on our stomach when we are eating, on processing food. But when you don't have food in your stomach past 12 hours,
right,
that energy go and help other organs or whatever is in your system that
right,
needs
right. I mean,
help.
it could be your brain, it could be everything
Exactly.
else. You're kind of
That
firing on all
is
cylinders. Yeah.
exactly, that is what is being known as a self-healing, right? So, but when you are doing something physical, all that energy is used and all the blood goes straight to your
To that
muscles.
task. Yeah.
So you can get more benefits of training empty stomach and knowing that insulin protocol.
Yeah.
So my protocol is I go empty stomach, work out, then do some cardio stuff, stretching, and right away I go to have my meal. And if I want just to get full enough, I'm gonna use some insulin and I will increase the amount of carbohydrate. But I will use having that kind of state of not forcing my system to digest so much food and being healthy, because I did that before. Being around 250 with like 8% body fat, sometimes, I go under 8%. But then I go just straight for 1 week and eat 6 times a day. I go straight to 265 pounds, just like boom.
Yeah.
And the whole fullness. And when I saw that happen, I was like, you know what? I will do a show in Classic, because I can get to 240 from here.
So is that the cap for you is 240?
Yeah, because 661.
6'1", okay.
And then 2 weeks later, I can go and do an open with still condition,
Right.
because
Yeah.
I'm already have it, you know?
Yeah.
So, and I was thinking about, I have been thinking about that and I'm working on it. So I will make that happen.
Yeah. So that leads me into my next question is, the last show you did was the Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago. And there was a master's division in there.
Yes.
You placed first there. And then you open as well. And you're just outside of the top 10 there. Right.
At the open.
Yeah. But obviously reason being is the judges are used to seeing you a lot bigger, right? And fuller. You were shredded. I looked at your photos and everything, and like you were shredded, right? But downsized compared to what I'm used to seeing you at. What did you use to compete at prior to COVID, prior to 2019 on stage?
I was 260.
See, and that 10 pounds makes a lot up on you. Like it does. Like
in your frame.
Yeah.
No. I was 260. But in this show that I did as a master, I was 235.
Oh, that's what. Okay, that makes more sense because you look downsized compared to how you used to look when you competed.
Yeah. I was 235.
Yeah. So now you're just hovering. This is like your off season, even though you're super lean, you're 250, but you still would compete around 235 on the stage. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. So when I did that show, it was just like, I was playing you this. I was getting just out of like last therapy, and then I decided to compete.
Okay.
So I didn't have size. I didn't have the time to do an off-season protocol and put the size that I lost back.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. So you came
So
in.
Yeah, I went to talk to this guy. Sam is his name. It's my coach till now. So I was asking him, do you think you can get me ready for a show? And he said, okay, let's do it. Just follow whatever I say. Try to forget everything you already know. And I said, okay. It was a good commitment because mentally it was a commitment before going to talk to him.
Yeah.
So at that point, I just start working out. But I didn't thought how bad I was looking at that moment when I started.
Okay.
But 6 weeks later, I had already, and this is a good example to talk about it because, I have been working with a lot of coaches.
Yeah.
And not a lot, but the ones that like I work with Matt, with Hani, with Milos, with Sagid. So these coaches are good. They're good experience. But it was always through the emails. I never had somebody in front of me to have me on the whole prep.
Yes.
I don't even somebody who actually trains me every day. So in 6 weeks, because of the pressure in the workout and being able to see him every day, and he based the food intake and the amount of calories we will be using and the workout. And I was doing heat cardio in the morning, just 10 minutes. So at the first 6 weeks, the change was big. And for me, it was like, what? Well, that's because the majority, the muscle memory, whatever. And then that was starting body weight at 260. And then I was 250, downsized 10 pounds, but I was looking better. And then 6 weeks later, by the week of the show, I was at 260 pounds, same body weight, but I was full. We did a conference on the pictures, and I was like, wow. But I still have joint tightness that I couldn't pose properly.
Yeah.
So everything around the shoulder and the surgery is still tight. So I wasn't doing heavy weights, nothing like crazy. It was just me going through failure in every angle he imagined I need to work out.
Yeah.
So every morning I was looking better. And that kind of pressure, and not pressure in terms of like killing, no. It was just the workout. Everything was out. Every day was out. Absolutely out. I was never depleted in the entire prep.
Okay.
I wasn't using too much fat burners. It was a lot based on the type of workout, bro, because every day I was beat up. Shoulder workout, I was on the floor. Chest workout, I was on the floor. Bad workout, I couldn't fucking stand myself. So everything was so powerful.
But it was a great prep, though. Like everything.
No, it was really good.
It was fantastic.
It was really good.
That's what I was going to ask. I was going to ask, like, what was your training? What was the reps, the sets per exercise you were doing? You were doing 12 to 15 reps. Were you doing 8 to 9? Or
everything was 12 to 15. And if he think I still has something to push,
right, then you got
he will make it happen.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this. Let's say you are training with your best friend or whatever, but it's challenging, and you can fake when you want to give up because you fucking like, fuck,
Yeah, we've all been there.
Now this motherfucker knows, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck, bro, fuck. Every workout was like, and I was looking at him like, damn.
Okay, I'm done.
do you know what I'm doing because you fucking did it, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm telling him every day.
Yeah.
Man, for me it was so fucking crazy because
You know all the
I
tricks.
couldn't give up in anything. And then I every day when we started, I was afraid of like every workout was like, fuck. My wife, that she is, let's say, is my best hater, but it's the best admired person that I have because she is like, you can do better. You can do
Yes.
better. You can do better. You're supposed to do better. She was like, if you're gonna be in the floor every day, I don't wanna go to see you training. And I was, but what you expect me to do if I can handle it, you know?
Yeah.
And she said, like, but I saw you training with Milo, so you wasn't crying like this. I said, I wasn't broken like that, you know, like I was complaining and whatever I can say just to defend.
Yeah.
But it was a point where I wasn't crying no more. I was just enjoying the pain and enjoying the transition, you know?
Yeah.
And at the end, I think it was like 2 weeks before the show, I was looking at myself and I was like, oh, I'm already past this whole shit, you know, because I was looking good.
Yeah.
That's when I started posting more pictures because I was happy. I was like, oh, fuck, I didn't lose myself, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, fuck. And that's when I thought I wasn't ready to give up. You know, I wasn't ready to say I'm not competing no more.
Right.
And that was my scare. That was like, fuck. Damn. And then I start like, wow, oof, you know, all the pressure goes away. And then it was like, okay, now I have to get better everywhere, you know. And I will tell you something, man. Everything I have been doing, it also, as much as I help myself, I'm being able to help other people, my clients, man. It's been easy to train them now because I understand the body better. Because when they come with like, oh, I have some lower back pain, stretch, motherfucker, come here. You know, and also I'm getting the license on doing therapy, you know, because I'm trying just to, today I can say with a little more property is like, all the knowledge I have, the only way I will enjoy even more than doing bodybuilding on stage is helping people to learn to know themselves. You know, because everybody should know how to take care of the body because that's where you really live. You know, you not live in your house, you not live here and there, you live in the body, and you should take care of that, and you should know about it. It's your responsibility. Know about yourself.
I mean,
Nobody else
a
should
lot
know
of the
better
time,
than you.
a lot of the time people will know more about the plumbing of their house or their apartment than will themselves, right? Than their own body.
Exactly.
And especially in our sport, you know, nobody's thinking about long-term type of situations, right? You know, it's all, you know, 16 weeks, 15 weeks, what, you know, we think that way, right? So, you know, you were forced to learn that really quick. And it's like, oh, wait a minute, we need to start thinking long term. And so if you can impart that into other people and help other people maybe get that self-awareness. I see where
that's one thing that I can say. I never said before, but for me, working with Mutant, when I saw Matt doing bodybuilding, but at the same time performing his role, it was surprising, but at the same time, I was admiring him the way he can focus on both things. When I was doing something, I was feeling pressure no matter what, you know, even when I was driving my own thing. You know, and for me, it was like, damn, he got control of everything, you know? So it was like he was his own boss the whole time, the whole fucking time.
He pretty much was.
No, for real, bro. For me, it's been always kind of respect that I have for you.
Oh, well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. And you know, it is you know, a lot of bodybuilders, they're personal trainers and or coaches, which is fine. There's others that, you know, have full-time jobs, you know. and they can do both. But yeah, it's a balancing act for sure. Work-life balance. And but I worked for Mutant, so I was surrounded by bodybuilders. I was in the culture. It was in the environment, so they were very supportive of me having my meals at work, and just, you know, it was easier than say other places if you were working at. And that
you know, different than if you're on corporate, you know, Wall Street type, you know.
Yeah, it's true. That makes the word a little better.
Yeah.
Sure.
But so you mentioned classic physique. Is that something? So what's the plan now? You did your show last year, and so we're in 2023. Are you preparing for any shows coming up, or are you going to be 2024, or what's the plan?
Yeah, so there is because everything I'm doing now is responding very well on my body. I'm not pushing anything right now, and everything is working so good, and I feel posing is much better than what I used to do. I feel much engagement for everything I have been doing. Because I will just say this to make people understand a little better. I have been always saying that you should train the way you contract your muscles when you are performing a poses, right? But now when I went through all my, you know, study protocol, I have found that if you have some gymnastic training background, you understand that you can contract your muscles superficial, the ones that we can see, but also the ones that nobody sees. They stabilize the whole joints and sternum and everything. Those are the ones that are really important in our body. And that's what I have been trying to build on myself, because everything was shifted, bro, in my whole body. For the whole, even when I was doing something so healthy to my system, it becomes to be dangerous in some way, that if I don't pay attention and I give up, I will be like, oh my God, I'm fucked up because of the way that I used to spend my life or something like that. You know? So now I can just say like, wow, I had the opportunity to perform again. So when I did that show, I qualified for the Master Olympia. But when I found out the classic physique on my high is 242 pounds, the cut weight, I say, well, if I did this show in the Master with that 235 pounds, I can make better 242. But because all my structure changed because of the whole protocol I have been doing, my body looks more aesthetic, but I still have the thickness and fullness and roundness in my body. And I've been having get like a little more like thinner skin.
Okay, nice.
You know, so my point right now is just get fuller. Because everything I did with this coach and like three months were so good, and I wasn't in a good condition before that show. So right now I can start working out with him like 10 weeks before the show and make a good presentation, you know, because I have been training the whole time and being healthy. The only thing I'm not doing is pushing the foot in. And that makes me think about like, let's go back a little bit on time and say it's like, oh, the super genetic of Kevin LeBron. That's exactly what he's been doing all of this time. Because you already have the size. We saw this happen with Victor Martinez when he came out of the jail. In 6 months, he was like, fuck.
Oh, yeah. No, exactly. It was back to his old self.
Because the muscles being there, you just got fuller. But if it's being healthy, because it's what I have been doing, making myself healthy and get the muscles activated and everything. So I will look, I'm telling with like very secure about is I will look really good. And I'm doing classic because it's so attractive. Is it's what it makes me get in love with bodybuilding.
Yep.
No, yeah,
And
for all of us, right? You know,
man,
yeah,
it's like a being able to do it that way. I feel like I've been jealous all of this time.
yeah.
Yes.
Now you get to do it.
Yeah,
So,
but now I had the opportunity to do it.
so the plan is to do classic physique. So what would be the next show? Is it
But show though.
You know, Mutant comes to Orlando in July for the expo.
okay
That's the show I will be doing.
in July? So it's coming up. That's
Yeah.
okay. And then so you're 250 right now, so you don't have that much to drop. It's not like it's going to be hard to make weight for you.
No. Yeah, I will push. I will work under pressure. That would be nice.
Well, bro, you're going to be whatever 240 on stage for classic physique. And I don't think a lot of guys are going to have the thickness in this,
No,
but
no,
you
no,
have.
no,
So
no.
you could qualify right away for the Olympia and be right there with the big boys on at the Olympia.
I will do it.
Classic physique, so to speak.
Could you imagine, Matt, if we see our buddy Manny do that?
Oh,
That will be super nice.
Oh man, it would be so nice, but it would be so well deserved.
yes.
So it would be
Yes.
so well deserved. So
Yeah.
it
I
wouldn't
have been
happen to
working
a better
for it.
guy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's been a thing that I have been working on poses
Mhm.
because practicing so many ways, so many stands, so many twists.
And that's going to be everything.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
this.
yeah. And that's one of the reasons of so much stretching protocols and mobility.
Yeah.
And
Going to make those poses look much better. Open them up.
yes. Especially, man, I would say the rotator cuff, the hip flexors, it's like more like a ballerina routine than
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a total throwback to the pumping iron, right? And
Yes.
Arnold and Franco and
Yes.
the ballet class. But
Man, and it's exactly that, 100%.
Yeah.
It's for me, and it's right now it's more easy to pose and hold the poses because of you are open 100%. The looseness,
Yes.
it makes so easy. Yeah.
Have you been like? Can you do the vacuum pose now, or is that something you're practicing? Or are you gonna start doing, stretch it, right exercises?
Yeah, I can do it. Let me see if I can.
You're not going to tell them to do it, are you, Matt?
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Bro,
Hey, this is
All right.
let's see.
this is what you get.
Yeah.
All right. It's good. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's off.
It is.
Off season too. So right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Manny, my man.
But
Nice.
you remember, I remember I asked him one time because he's from Double Bice. I always tell him, like, I like it.
Yeah.
Because it was, I remember when I saw his first picture, I was looking at the picture, and then I was looking at him in front of me, like, when was that picture taken? Because it was looking bigger than the picture, but it's just because of the size.
Yes.
So the whole proportion and everything.
Yes. No, definitely.
It was cool.
And so what do you just let people know what you're doing now for your kind of daytime job, your coaching, your training? How can people get a hold of you? How can they, services are you providing?
Yeah, no, through Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, is Mr. Manuel Romero. So it's just through there right now.
And what type of services do you provide? Like coaching, online coaching, and personal training in person?
100% online coaching and personal training one-on-one.
Okay.
Awesome. We'll link everything as well. So
put it in the description. But I want to, do it's called Fast Five, right? Where I have five kind of questions or words or statements, and your response is just to have a one-word reply to it. So if I say
whatever you think about the
for
word.
example, if I said Lee Haney, and you would say legend, whatever comes to your mind about that person or whatever I'm saying.
All right.
So but it's not in that direction for the questions I have for you. So I'm just gonna say Miami.
Oh, tourism.
Tourism. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up.
Your wife.
Oh, it means everything.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
Good.
that's
Good
the perfect word for it.
answer. Mutant.
Wow. It gives me an opportunity that I don't think I will receive again in my life.
Awesome. Good. The gym.
My happy place.
Good. Squats.
My not so happy place.
I mastered the squat.
Nice.
We can tell with those legs. So,
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, Manny, it's been great. Appreciate you coming on and joining us for our first episode here. And man, I'm excited to see you on the classic
Muscle Discord. Yes, sir.
And
And I'm still with my golden era t-shirt from Mad.
Yes.
Man, that's something that I will be so proud to wear when I get there.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Because I gotta be there on stage to be officially like
That's
fucking
right.
golden era bodybuilding
I didn't want to pull
with
it
the
in or
whole
anything,
physique
but
and everything else.
golden era is still there. It's still alive, and you've got some swag of it. And if you're on classic physique and you're there, I would love to see it on you. But I appreciate that, man. You've got a space in our heart here, and we're always rooting for you, man.
Thank you, brothers. Have a good night, guys.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you
and
for
we'll
the
get you on
opportunity.
again. We'll get you on
See
again.
you.
Definitely get you on closer to the show. We'll get an update.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
100%.
All right.
Thank you, guys.